Hey, how's it going? So today I'm coming to you with day number 24 inside of a 30-day video challenge. And the thing that I want to talk about today, the thing that's on my mind today is beliefs. Your beliefs, my beliefs. How were those beliefs formed, and what are we doing as a result of those beliefs, and how do those beliefs affect everything that we do on a regular basis? I remember, this was a long time ago, when I was about, 7 or 8 years old. I was born in Haiti, and my mom decided to migrate here to the States because the state was going to be able to afford her opportunity that Haiti didn't offer her. So from an economic standpoint, she was going to have some economic opportunities that were not available in Haiti. And I remember when she first came here, when she was getting ready to come here to the States, I remember her family being very excited because it meant that they're going to have an individual that is here in the States, and that individual is going to be able to support them from an economic standpoint. So my family in Haiti at the time, it meant hope. Not that they have someone that's coming to the United States of America. It means that that person's going to have, from an economic standpoint, economic opportunities. And because that person's going to have economic opportunities, when they need something, they'll be able to lean on that individual as well. And when we first moved here to the States, my mom and I, my mom didn't have much from a resource standpoint. We ended up living with family. We moved into a one-bedroom apartment, and that one-bedroom apartment pretty much had a living room, and that living room was turned into a bedroom. We had three twin-size bed in the living room. We had 4 twin-size bed in the room, which made it a total of seven twin-size beds. And that was our living condition at the time. And at first, I couldn't really understand, okay, why were we in such confined environment? Why did we have so little resource? And it turns out that between my mom and the other individuals who were living in that home, they were what we call migrant workers. They were migrant workers, which means they made very little money. They worked outside in the field, and they worked very hard. Not only were they migrant workers, they were seasonal workers. So if there's 12 months out of the year, these individuals only worked a couple of months out of the year. So from an economic standpoint and from a resource standpoint, in order to make things work, they had to all live together because financially they couldn't afford to live on their own. Not only did they have to support, themselves, they also had to support family back in Haiti. And I remember, asking my mom just a couple of years ago that, why did we move to the town that we moved to? And my mom, reinforced to me that, hey, from a belief standpoint, she believed that was going to give her an economic advantage. And the reason why I was going to give her an economic advantage is because she can save money and she can go ahead and take care of people, back home. And when I think about that, I think about that as a belief system that my mom had when she first moved into the States. And over time, that belief system changed. Over time, she was able to earn a little bit more. Over time, we're able to kind of just move out of those conditions. And over time, we're able to move out of those environments because from a belief standpoint, she started to, believe in herself a little bit more. She started to earn a little bit more. And she started to kind of just gain some independence. And I was just thinking about the type of impact that had on me from a belief standpoint. I believe that our environment and our circumstances could do one of two things with us. They can create what we call a positive belief, or they can go ahead and create what we call a negative belief. Some people coming from a certain type of environment believe that that is all that they can do, and that is all there is to life. And they go about their life every single day with just that belief pattern because they grew up seeing that from a resource standpoint. Their parents didn't have a lot of resource. And because their parents didn't have a lot of resource, they think that this world offers limited amount of resource. But at the same time, you also have an individual that comes from that and say, hey, you know what? I believe that this world offers a lot more resource. And because I believe this world offers a lot more resource, I'm going to go out and get as much resource as possible. So then what they do is they go out and they go and get as much resource as possible. So the thing that I want to challenge you to do is I want you to challenge, I have to challenge myself to do this on a very consistent basis as well, is I have to challenge, my belief. So from an entrepreneurship standpoint, if I go and I try to do something and that thing doesn't work, am I going to say to myself, you know what, it's just not meant to work? It just doesn't work. That's just how it's supposed to be. Or am I going to say to myself, you know what, there's other people that has figured it out, because there's other individuals that's already figured it out. It is something that can be done. And because it is something that can be done, I am going to find a way, to make it happen. I remember, working at the university and kind of just seeing some staff members judgingly saying to other staff members that, hey, you know what, this person that just came through the process is not going to be, successful, in school. And I remember being not too happy with an individual at some point when I was working at the university, pretty much making fun of a prospective student and saying that that prospective student wasn't built for success. And I remember getting it was not a happy conversation that I had with that individual, because I overheard this person saying that this individual isn't a fit. And I'm saying to myself, okay, who are you to say that this individual isn't a fit? And just because this person may start off with a very humble beginning, it doesn't mean that this person is not a fit. Funny thing is that this person went on to not only finish the program, this person went on to be a very, very, very successful student. From a graduation standpoint, this person graduated with, I want to say, almost all A's. Not only did this individual graduate with all A's, I remember seeing this individual via a concert. I went to a concert, I want to say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and seeing that individual as a concert, and this person was one of the opening acts from a music standpoint. And at the time, honestly, I didn't know that this person had musical talents and or musical abilities. So not only did this person, prove to, a lot of people that, hey, I can make it from an education standpoint, I can also make it from a music standpoint. You see, that individual who was having that conversation with that other person was under the belief that because, this person didn't appear to have the aptitude to be successful, that person was like, okay, well, this individual is not, successful. So one of the things that I have to try and do, pretty much all of the time is when something is presented to me and I start to question it and I start to say, hey, I don't know. I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to be successful. I have to go back and say, okay, what series of event happened in my life that is causing me to embrace that belief? Because it's usually a series of events that's happened in your life, and because of those series of events that's happened to your life, you have a negative connotation, and you have a negative mindset around the thing, and you automatically associate it with failure, and you automatically associate it with it can't be done. So go back. Go back and just look at yourself from a timeline standpoint. Look at some of the things that you are looking to accomplish. Look at some of the possibilities that's been presented to you. And I want you to just say to yourself, okay, this has been presented to me. That has been presented to me. And all of these different things have been presented to me. And I haven't taken action on them because I don't believe that it is possible. When I think about one of the things that I talk about all of the time, obviously, is people using their knowledge and or their expertise to create coaching programs. And some people believe in themselves. They believe that it's 100% possible. So then they go out and do it. But at the same time, you also have individuals who's so capable of taking their knowledge and their expertise and turn it into an online coaching program or a product. But the problem is that they don't necessarily, believe that it's possible. And I am trying to think that at some point I had that same mindset as well. And the reason why I had that same mindset at some point is because for 12, well, probably more than that, for about 13 or 14 years of my life, I worked at a university. And when working at a university, the understanding that I had was that in order for me to use my knowledge and or my expertise to monetize my knowledge and or my expertise, I have to have some type of a credential, and that credential needs to be in that same area of study. So for example, marketing, what I saw for a very long time is I saw that the individuals who were teaching marketing, those individuals had marketing degrees. They had bachelor's degrees in marketing. They had MBAs in marketing. They had all of these different credentials, and that credential allowed them the ability to go and start to teach the thing. So for a while, I said to myself, well, if I'm going to become someone that's going to get paid, to help people with marketing, I need to have a marketing degree. Right? That was my belief at that point, until I went out and I started to kind of just help other individuals based on my experience. And I saw that, you know what, I don't necessarily need to have a degree. I just need to have the experience, and I need to have the ability to be able to help people. So then, I was able to shift my, my belief based on some of the things that I was able to do. So, I want you to just take a look at some of the things that you have to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. Write them down and say, these are the things that I have to accomplish, and this is why I believe that I can do it, why I believe that I can't do it. And if you believe that you can't do it, go back and say, hey, why do I believe that? And is that belief true? So question that and see if it's true. Because if it's not true, then you're holding yourself back. All right. Day 24 inside of a 30-day video challenge. That's all I have for you. If you happen to be catching me live, do me a favor and hit pound live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you happen to be catching this via the replay, do me a favor and hit pound replay. Let me know where you're tuning in from. That's it for now. I'll talk to you soon.